Can I ask you a question? Which is stronger, a little tiny acorn or 100-foot oak tree? The answer is they're the same thing. One you can see, the other is simply further along. Have you ever planted a seed and then gotten frustrated because nothing seemed to happen the next day? Probably not, right? Because we all understand something about seeds. And we forget that when it comes to faith. Just because you can't see growth doesn't mean God isn't growing something. Good morning, everyone. My name is Wes Bray, and welcome to Motivational Moments. Every Friday, we take a few moments to reset our hearts before we head into the weekend. Today's message is for the person who's been praying, waiting, trusting, and wondering if God is listening. If that's you, don't scroll away. This may be exactly what you need to hear. See, we live in a world that celebrates instant results, instant messages, instant food, instant answers, and somewhere along the way, we started expecting instant miracles. But God has never worked on our timetable. Think about a farmer after he plants the seed. He doesn't dig it back up every morning to see if it's growing, because if he does, he actually destroys the very thing he's hoping for. How many times do we do that with our faith? We pray, then we panic. We trust, then we take it back. We surrender it all, then we pick it up again the very next day. Maybe the reason we don't see anything is because God is working where your eyes can't reach. Roots grow before fruit. Character grows before influence. And trust grows before blessing. Have you ever noticed that the strongest trees are the ones with the deepest roots? See, the roots don't exist to make the tree look impressive. Nobody ever walks through a forest and says, "Oh wow, look how great these roots are." They admire the trunk. They admire the branches, the leaves, the fruit. But everything they admire is only possible because of something they'll never see. And maybe that's exactly what God is doing in your life. He's developing a faith that doesn't depend on feelings, a character that isn't shaken by criticism, a peace that survives bad news. Before God trusts you with more influence, He often deepens your foundation, because if your roots aren't deep enough, the blessing that you've been praying for can become the very thing that knocks you over. Some of the greatest work God ever does happens underground, where nobody applauds it. Can I tell you what I've learned? God is usually doing two things at the same time. He's working on the situation, and He's working on you. We spend so much time praying, "God, change what's around me," while God is quietly saying, "I'm changing what's inside you." Because one day, the answer to your prayer won't just require a miracle. It'll require the person you're becoming today. And if God answered some of your prayers too early, we wouldn't have the character to carry the blessing. What if the prayer you've almost stopped praying is one prayer away from breakthrough? What if the child that you've been praying for is closer to God than you realize? What if the marriage you're fighting for isn't falling apart? It's being rebuilt. One unseen brick at a time. Don't confuse God's silence with God's absence. Just because He seems quiet doesn't mean He's gone. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Notice it doesn't say our time. It says the proper time. God's timing isn't late. It's perfect. Maybe late for us, but it's perfect timing. So before you quit, before you stop praying, before you walk away, ask yourself, am I digging up the seed because I don't trust what's happening underground? Keep planting, keep watering, keep trusting, even when you don't see a single green shoot breaking through the soil, because faith isn't believing after you see the harvest. Faith is watering the ground when all you can see is dirt. I'm Wes Bray, and this has been Motivational Moments. I'll leave you with this. Don't judge God's faithfulness by what you can see on the surface. Some of His greatest miracles are growing where your eyes will never reach. If this message encouraged you today, share it with someone who's tired of waiting. You never know. Your share may be the reminder they were praying for. Have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you Monday.